How y'all doing, man? I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, morning, or whenever you're watching this video. If you're new, please be sure to leave a like and please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Now, today I'll be doing a video on Fetty Wap, man. I'll be doing a video of Fetty Wap. Nigga said I ain't heard squad in 3 years. Honestly, I haven't heard of Fetty Wap in about 3 years, roughly. You know, it's really crazy to me because in 2015, 2014, 2015, Fetty Wap was on top of the world. Fetty Wap had the world in his hands. Like, I don't understand how you get, I think it was 3 platinum records in 14. I think it was 2 platinum records in 15. You get a Drake feature when Drake was literally at the peak. This Hotline Bling Drake. That's what, a Drake feature. And then you get a Jay-Z and Beyonce cosign. And you still fumble the bag. Like, I don't understand how you still fall off. How do you fall off after all that? You still fall off. I don't get it. How? I don't know. I don't know how you can't make this up, man. You just can't make it up. You can't make it up. It's written in the code. You can't make it up. It's written in the code. Like, you can't, like, who gets a Drake feature and then a couple months later you're a you're not a nobody. You're still making money, of course. Still have your core fan base. But I don't understand how you just, people literally forget. You know, people literally forget. But I think that could be attributed to the fact that 2015 and 2016, there was a monumental shift in music. A monumental shift in rap music, more specifically. Because in 2015, Fetty Wap was a part of the 2015 XXL freshman list. Who do you remember on that list? Who do you remember on that list? I'll wait. Type in the comment section right now. Who do you remember from the 2015? Who do you remember in the 2015 XXL freshman list? I just want to know. Who do you remember? Other than Vince Staples and Gold Link, who was relevant? Who's relevant? Vince Staples making some really good music. He needs to drop a little bit more, you know. Gold Link making some really good music, you know, really good music. And by the way, I didn't even know he was a part of the 2015 XXL freshman list. I had to look it up before I recorded this video. But outside of those two, who do you remember from that list? Don't look it up. Who do you remember? Who do you really remember? Because I don't remember a soul besides those. I don't remember a soul. Like, none of them are relevant today to me. None of them are relevant. I haven't heard none of them at all. Of course, they're probably still making music, but they're not doing nothing. You know, they're not really doing anything. Now, when you shift from that to 2016, it is a whole nother ball game. And I was actually talking about this topic to one of my friends earlier on this year, that the shift from 2015 to 2016 was insane. Because in 2016, what do you have? Who's blowing up in 2016? Uzi's blowing up. Denzel Curry's blowing up. 21 Savage is blowing up. Kodak is blowing up. Anderson .Paak is blowing up. Even at the time, Designer blowing up. Lil Yachty blowing up. And what do all of those artists have in common? Some good production, or at the time, very groundbreaking production. Stuff we haven't heard before. I believe in 2016, that's when Imperial dropped, which was a really, really, really good project. In 2016, you had Lil Uzi Vert versus The World that dropped, which had Money Longer, which had a lot of tracks, and at the time, sonically, was something different in rap. Something different. Something a lot different. You know, vocally, Uzi was there. Vocally. And production wise, it was something different. 21 Savage. Although I think 21 Savage is getting better. He's still getting better. And I really enjoy the 21 Savage today over that 21 Savage because he's just getting better. Lyrically, he's getting better. Production wise, getting better. Who else? Anderson .Paak, another really, really, really good artist. Really good artist. You know, really, really good artist. Designer kind of fell off, but even then, for his time in that little space, because like really, Designer dropped, what was that song? Designer dropped Timmy Turner, Designer dropped Panda, and did. Like he ain't dropped nothing else. That's been heat. But in that period of time, it was something different, I guess you could say. Even Yachty was making some pretty decent music. You know, way different from 2015. Now, Fetty Wap, vocally, Fetty Wap, I actually went back and listened to a couple of those tracks. Vocally, Fetty Wap had it. Like, I honestly don't understand how he wasn't able to capitalize on that. Because he's a talented artist. Vocally, Fetty can actually sing. He can actually hold a note, a tune. I think it just comes down to his production and his songwriting. And I think it just comes from Fetty really trying to ride that wave. Because he was at a really awkward spot in music. Really awkward. Because he dropped, and then a year later, hip hop is in a whole different shift of SoundCloud artists. XXX, Juice WRLD, all those people. A completely different shift. So he's kind of in no man's land. You know, he's done built his career. He's been making these songs for, you know, he's been making these songs. He blew up, you know, so he probably continued to try and follow that same formula, and it didn't work because the entire landscape of rap was completely different. Completely different, you know? So, and this is why I say, if you're an artist, it's really good for you to blow up slowly. Because if you blow because the quicker you come up is just like if the faster you come up, just as fast as you come up, that's as fast as you'll drop. Literally. Unless you are able to put in the work. Unless you're able to put in a lot of work. You just have to be able to put in a lot of work, and you have to be able to shift and be able to push the culture in some way. And I think Fetty Wap he's definitely talented enough to do that vocally, but production wise, he kind of lacked in that. His production really sounds dated. Like whenever I go back and listen to Lil Uzi Vert versus The World, it doesn't really sound dated. Now I know it's more vintage. I get a nostalgic effect. You know, I get a more nostalgic effect whenever I do listen to that record. And it's not as cutting edge as it first was when I first heard it in 2016, 4 years ago. But it doesn't sound dated, if that makes sense. The 2016 artists, they don't sound dated. When I listen to Fetty Wap, it sounds extremely dated. Extremely dated. Those instrumentals sound extremely dated. They sound extremely dated. You know? Like, literally, 2014 Fetty Wap sounds like 2014 Fetty Wap sounds like Vine. 2014 Fetty Wap sounds like 2014 Fetty Wap sounds like emoji clothes. You know? It sounds like emoji clothes. Because when Fetty Wap was blowing up, I was transitioning from 8th grade to high school. You know? And Fetty Wap was I think Fetty Wap was at a pretty hot state. Like everybody knew who he was. And in the span of 2 months, nobody remembered him. which is insane. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Because he had, like I said, he had rap in the palm of his hands, and he still fumbled the bag. Still, still, still. Now, granted, he didn't have no classic record, you know. He didn't have no classic record, or, he did have a breakout hit, which was Trap Queen. I think it was 679 is the track, and a bunch of other tracks, that were good for his time. Not a classic record by any means at all, but it's just really interesting to me how he was able to really build this fan base and then lose it all in the span of 2 to 3 months. And I think, and if memory serves me correctly, I think it was because Fetty Wap, there was some quote unquote, I don't really know if I could say they're allegations, but people were saying that in, I think it was a song 679, that he said something about being a devil worshiper. And I don't really know if, I don't think he really said that. I think it was, I think he said something like Remy Boy lifestyle, if memory serves me correctly. And people just stopped listening to him. I just stopped listening to him because I wasn't, I just stopped listening to him. And then everybody else just stopped listening to him. But yeah, I think that's really, really interesting. So yeah, if you're an artist, make sure that you have something in your bag, make sure you try to push yourself every day, or you'll fall off. As quickly as you'll come up, you will fall back down. So make sure, if your rides are slow, you'll sit on top for a very long time. So yeah, tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. Leave a like if you like, subscribe if you liked, hit the bell for post notifications. I have some videos around my head that I would like for you to check out and get into. Tell you nothing about me if you do nothing else. So Fetty Wap, FAYGOS. Till next time.